It is that time again to get into all of your Tesla stock news today. We will also take a look at recent option activity in Tesla and where Tesla may be going next. First and foremost, it is important to acknowledge what happened on Friday. I was not expecting this. Most of us were not expecting this, but Tesla stock was down over 2.5%. Now, why was Tesla down so much, given in all reality, the biggest headwind that has been facing Tesla is now gone? Compensation package, and the reason that was a headwind, because Elon may have left Tesla. That was what Wall Street was fearing the most. Tesla stock subsequently went from about $265 per share down to at one point under $140 per share, and that was the biggest drag on Tesla. Obviously, deliveries have not come in that great, margins have been bottoming, but there's still some concerns there as well. But when you want to boil all of this down, the biggest thing working against Tesla was Elon's compensation package not being reinstated. What you also had on Friday was a very risk-off day. The Russell 2000 down 1.6%. The S&P ended up closing barely red. The Nasdaq up about 0.1%, and the Dow down almost 0.2%. The VIX was up 6% though, and there was definitely some fear out there. It's mainly because your Michigan consumer sentiment numbers came in really bad on a headline basis, about 7 points lower than expected. Consumer expectations came in really bad, but current conditions came in terrible. I mean, you are at the lows of the great financial crisis right now. And I think Wall Street's saying, literally telling you, the Fed is about to make a mistake. The economy is about to weaken too much, and the Fed is not going to be able to do anything, to be effective, to, avoid a recession. So in that kind of market environment, of course, Tesla is going to take a hit on that. You also see the typical buy the rumor, sell the news kind of playbook. So that's what happened. For anyone that does not know, that is a little bit curious to what's going on. No, I don't think this is the start of another downtrend for Tesla. I think it's really going to depend on economic activity. We also have Tesla's delivery numbers coming out July 2nd, and Tesla's earnings coming out around July 20th or so. And those will be big catalyst for Tesla. Gary Black writes on X, if Tesla management and board donned their long-term strategic caps, they would take a page out of the Apple playbook and realize, number one, Tesla needs to expand its EV TAM. That stands for total addressable market, downstream, and launch a $25,000 flanker product, the Model 2 or Model 2.5, to compete with BYD and cheaper EV alternatives. Number two, Tesla needs to hire some top marketing talent to accelerate EV adoption from ICE in the same way Apple convinced users of BlackBerries, Nokia, Motorola, and other dumb phones to upgrade to smartphones. Tesla management and board must view this as a necessary step to get to a $3 trillion market cap. In this highly competitive environment, the product does not sell itself, and Elon Musk posting on X is not a full-scale marketing effort. And I generally agree with Gary Black here. I think actually even running TV ads is probably more effective than the current advertising strategy that Tesla has been using. So we'll see if things start to step up as far as marketing and trying to sell more Teslas. After all, a lot of people's argument has been for months now, Elon Musk is just not focused on Tesla. And yeah, sure, this compensation package will have to go through the courts again, but it's basically a done deal at this point. So Elon's focus should be 100% now on Tesla. And that's from the market's perspective. Elon has been focused on Tesla this entire time, but the markets have not been convinced of that. Gary Black says, we believe Tesla lawyers will go back to Judge McCormick next week and inform her there's been a material change in circumstances, the new vote where overwhelming majority again voted for Elon's 2018 comp plan, even with a much stronger disclosures, and ask the judge to require Elon's 2018 to restore Elon's 2018 comp plan. She will schedule a hearing with pleadings and then decide at some future date, likely before the July 8th hearing, to decide the plaintiff attorney's fees, whether to restore or reject Elon's comp plan. If she rejects it again, Tesla will appeal the decision by the Delaware Supreme Court and cite both votes of overwhelming approval by Tesla shareholders as grounds for a reversal. Elon Musk gives us a casual Saturday announcement and says the new Tesla Roadster can indeed fly. Now, this is probably just a couple of seconds kind of fly, but we'll see when that product becomes closer to an actual launch. Sawyer Merritt says the Cybertruck is becoming a more and more common sight in New England. Just saw this one cruising on the highway. Every person near it was taking photos. Let me know down below in the comment section if you have seen a Cybertruck out in the wild, just driving down the road. I still have not, but I live in Michigan, so Teslas in general are not that common at all. And that's another reason why I think TV ads would do well in certain demographics, like here in Michigan, where there's not a lot of penetration of Tesla to begin with. The Tesla Model Y was crowned Auto Trader's new car of the year for 2024. Sentiment for Tesla today is a lot better than what it was on Friday. On Friday, sentiment was extremely bearish at 14. Today, it is neutral at 47. Message volume today is dropping a lot over the weekend. That tends to happen. Yesterday, you were extremely high at 80, and today you are low at 43. And the participation ratio today is normal at 54. Google Trends data is actually going higher for the Cybertruck from 73 to 75. The Model Y is trending lower a little bit from 30 to 29. The Model 3 is going from 23 to 25. The Model S and the Model X are both at the same as where they were at 11 and 9 respectively. And Google Trends data for full self-driving is ticking higher yet again from hitting that low at 19. This was the end of May, now up to 24, as Elon Musk has confirmed there will be one more quarter of FSD transfers, and that will likely translate into some decent demand for Tesla as well in this current quarter. As far as the overall short position currently in Tesla, sitting at 3.65% short interest of free float, $18.45 billion currently sold short in the stock, with 101 million shares that are sold short. On Friday, you did have a lot of shorting activity. You had 3.37 million shares that were short or sold short. You had 1.08 million shares that were covered. So that means on net, you had 2.3 million shares that were sold short, minus the, covering shares. That's a lot of selling pressure. As far as option activity on Friday, it was very positive from big money. You had 21 orders totaling $7.94 million with a positive order value of 90%. If you take a look at the calls on Friday, you had volume of 67.6% and volume to the put side of 32.4%. Looking out to next week, on Friday, you had volume of 66.62% calls and volume on the put side of 33.38% puts. For next week's open interest for Friday's expiration, 58.05% calls and 41.95% puts. Tesla's global inventory numbers have recently went a lot higher for the Model 3, Model S, and Model X. That is probably a good thing, suggesting that there's more production, at least for the Model 3. Not exactly sure what's going on with the Model S or the Model X. The fact that Tesla's not cutting prices anymore suggests that maybe there's just more production there as well. Not exactly sure what's going on with the Model X and the Model S. If you take a look at the Model Y, this has been the product with the highest inventory. It's the most produced product, so that makes sense. But you have seen inventory come down quite a bit from 9,700 down to where you are now at about 5,500, and that overall has been a good sign. Tesla continues to run about 4,000 different ads with Google. The percent of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average also fell quite a bit on Friday. About 6% of all stocks fell under their 50-day moving average. This is now a new low again, to where you haven't been since April, when the markets did go through quite a pullback there. So that's not great, only having 36.5% of stocks above their 50-day moving average. If we take a look at Tesla stock on a technical basis, so what happened is you actually closed right at your 100-day moving average, about $1 less, so technically a little bit lower. You did find support at that 20-day moving average throughout the trading day on Friday, bounced back up above the 100-day, and then gave it back towards the end of the day. So this is going to be a very contentious area, if you will, for Tesla. You want to see Tesla stay above that 100-day moving average, but I really think it's going to depend what happens in the broader markets over the next, coming couple of weeks. I'm not that optimistic that markets are going to continue to go higher. Clearly, could they? Obviously, but I'm just not very optimistic on that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next video. Tesla overall, though, just to kind of put that into a little bit of context, what we just mentioned, only 36% of stocks are above their 50-day moving average. Tesla is actually 3% higher than its 50-day moving average, which shows Tesla's in the top percentage of stocks that have started to do relatively okay, especially ever since you did hit that low at about $138 per share. So from that perspective, Tesla on a technical basis is actually doing okay. You've really just been trending sideways for a while, and you want to ultimately get above that 200-day moving average at about 209. But really, that 188 level is going to be a big area of resistance, and also $200 per share. In the next video, we will go over where I think Tesla stock is actually going next. I think we do need to revise our end of the year targets, as well as you guys know, if you watched the last video, I'm pretty nervous about what's coming next for our markets. So I do have a little bit of a warning for Tesla and broader markets as well that I do want to share with you. So hit that like button, as well as subscribe to the channel. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If indeed you do want to come join the trading community, check out that link down below in the description of this video. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.